Welcome back to Full Circle Chat with Christian Umizuki and my co-host, the one and only Dr. Betty Veazey. How you doing, Doc?
Hi, I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Hey, I'm doing excellent today.
Great.
I'm excited to have another conversation with you.
I am here.
How you feeling today?
I'm feeling good.
Feeling good?
Feeling good. I'm ready for you.
Listen,
I'm ready.
Dr. cracks me
I'm ready
up.
for you.
Yeah, no, I'm ready for this conversation too. But
Okay.
yeah, it's been a good day. I was just thinking about this before we jump into what we're going to talk about. But the idea of like when you walk out of your front door, this assumption that you're going to come back, right?
Of
Like we
course.
don't realize that there's infinite possibilities of what could happen when you step out of that door, right?
Okay.
So like when you leave your home, do you just assume, oh, I'm gonna be back, or do you think about like, man, like, this is, I'm fortunate to get to go do all the things that I do, and then walk back in this door later in the evening.
Wow. Now, you just said something that just a week or so ago, my husband was on the phone with a friend and they were talking, and then I'm getting ready to leave to go to work. Usually, he will take me out to the car. And instead, he said, okay, goodbye. And she said, oh, no. Don't you tell her goodbye. You say, see you later. Do you know what saying goodbye means goodbye? You don't say that to her. And ever since then, we say, see you later, because I never thought about that. But you say goodbye, and you know what? He told me another story with him and his mom and dad. They had an argument or something, and he doesn't like me to leave or him to leave with an argument because they left each other in a bad argument, and he never came back.
Oh wow,
He was
that's
killed.
powerful.
He was killed in a car accident.
You know what's interesting though? That story
Yeah.
makes me think of this book. I don't know, maybe you've read this. It's called The Four Agreements. I know one of the agreements is be impeccable with your words.
Wow.
So versus saying goodbye, saying see you later, that completely puts a completely different frequency out there in the world of
Yes.
I'm going to be back.
Exactly.
And it also expressed a little bit of gratitude in there too. But yeah, I wanted to just start off with that. But my real thing that I wanted to talk to you about today is this idea of, and I hear this all the time. People say it to me, to others. You got to step out of your comfort zone.
Out of your comfort zone.
You gotta step out of your comfort zone. That's where growth
Okay.
happens.
Yes.
For you, how do you define comfort zone? Let's start there. How do you define
How
it
do I
from your
define comfort
perspective?
zone?
Yeah.
Well, I know I get anxious if I'm asked to do something that I'm not too familiar with, like let's say do a presentation on something in front of a millions and millions of people. I've never done anything like that.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, who are these? I got a lot of questions. Who am I speaking to? What am I speaking about? I'm trying to do this, so I get anxious. Well, what are these people going to be? They're going to be looking at me. Do I know about this? Can I speak about this? I do some self-doubt, which it can be good and bad.
Yeah.
Nobody knows everything. So to not know something, to me, it's good, but I tell you, I would be very anxious, very anxious.
I like the idea you just presented.
Yeah.
So for you, stepping out of your comfort zone is there's something that's put in front of you. It's brand new, it's foreign. You still embark on whatever that is, the task of completing it, but you're anxious,
Yeah.
while doing it, but you're still doing it. So it's almost like you feel stepping out of your comfort zone in real time because you're doing that thing,
You
right?
do, but I'm telling you, it's inside of me. It's like, your stomach is rumbling, and you're just like, okay, your mind is like, are they paying attention to me? Are they listening? Am I making any sense? It's inside
Yes.
my mind, and that kind of messes up what I'm supposed to give to them, because I lose some of my concentration, and I'm thinking, am I doing right here? Am I saying things? Am I making sense?
Why do we focus so much on like what they're thinking?
Well, like any normal person, they want to know that you think that they're doing okay, or you think that whatever you're doing, it's okay,
Yeah,
or it makes sense, or you're doing the right thing.
but there's no way. So when I think about what you just said, if I'm giving a presentation to a group of people, me thinking, I hope they think it's okay. All these different people come from different backgrounds, different experiences. They see the world completely differently.
Correct.
If I'm trying to, they're not gonna get a universal understanding of what I'm trying to deliver. So everyone's gonna perceive what's coming at them from whatever lens or whatever experiences that they've been through and whatever lens that they see the world from, right?
That's
But
true.
you're hoping maybe there's like a universal understanding of what you're delivering
I
in the
hope
message.
I hope that there is,
Yeah,
and I'm hoping that the message that I'm delivering makes sense to them. They don't have to agree with what I'm saying,
yeah,
but I'm hoping that they are open to at least listening. Now,
yeah,
see, sometimes if you're talking about a topic that somebody has already strong ties and beliefs about,
yeah,
their mind is closed. They're not listening to you.
yeah,
And so you're up there talking, and they're like,
yeah.
everything, not even paying attention.
Yeah. So to bring it back to what we're talking about comfort zones, because I think about like personal growth and like personal development,
Okay.
like and then fear. How do you think fear? How does fear? And I think you talked about it a little bit. How does fear tie into
My
comfort
development.
zone?
Oh,
Like,
and
'cause when I think about it, I think about like what you talked about, how fear can paralyze you when it's time to
it sure
step outside
can.
of that comfort zone.
I have seen people that get on stage and trying to sing, getting like they're in a competition, and they're just.
Yeah.
I mean, they walk out in every aspect to do what they're there to do,
Yeah.
but they freeze.
Yeah.
And how do you get out of that?
Yeah, I don't know. Like for me, I'll tell you how think about it. 'Cause
Okay.
I hear it all the time. So uh, I don't believe in the idea of comfort zone just because.
Now you're lost for words. You can't even get it out. No, come on here
No,
now.
because I'm trying to make sure that I frame this like the way that I'm thinking about it, right? In
Okay.
my mind, I want it to that I'm able to articulate it to you so you can comprehend. So
Okay.
I think about just when I think about comfort zone, I think about change,
Okay.
right? So for me, every time I make a change, is if we wanted to use the term comfort zone, is pivoting or stepping out of my comfort zone.
So every time you make a change for you, that's stepping out of
Yes,
your
because
comfort zone.
change is not comfortable.
Good point.
If you dive into the like maybe a little bit maybe corporate world, leaders always frame the idea of change. You got to be adaptable to change. You got to be willing to adapt to
Well,
change, but it's not
yes.
easy.
Yes, they do.
It's
And the corporate world, and not only the corporate world, but in the everyday world
yeah,
you work in, people are saying to you, we've got to adapt for this, we've got to do this. The economy is doing this, so therefore we're going to be cutting your hours. And, that is part of that piece. Now, I know you're not going to like it, but that puts a lot of anxiety, fear into you.
absolutely. So what I'm getting is in whatever it doesn't have to be the corporate world. It can
No,
be any
anything,
world. The word
anything,
like what you said.
anything.
If there's a change happening, those employees have to make a change.
Yes,
So they're stepping out of their comfort zone.
yes,
'Cause a lot of them like their jobs.
right.
They like their day to day.
That makes them anxious. Oh, a change is coming.
That's right.
Now, I don't know if I'm going to be doing this again. I might have to learn something new. Can I get it? I'm not the fast learner. Are they going to give me time
Yeah.
to grow in this new role or this new aspect of the job that they're asking me to do?
Yeah. You know what? For me, because I struggle because I think about like how do I measure this day to day? What
Mm-hmm.
metric am I going to use? Like, am I actually stepping out of my, like what we're
Mm-hmm.
doing, like recording a podcast?
Oh yeah, that's out of the comfort zone for me.
Yeah, I would say so. But at the same time, I feel that I'm in the right place at the right time. So I don't feel like the anxious or the anxiety around what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Just, I think too, it comes from like, I guess the preparation that goes into these and then um, the authenticity behind it.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's a lot. That weighs on my mind a lot. What am I doing?
Yeah,
Um, um, am I able to adapt to things appropriately?
yeah,
But again, this is what each individual feels or thinks. So you let that out.
yeah,
And it might be some things that other people will think the same thing, and then maybe they think totally different, thinking,
yeah,
well, why would you feel that way? That's not any reason to feel like that.
yeah.
But again, it's each individual.
That's right. And that's why we put that, I don't know, we don't put a disclaimer out, but the idea behind why we started Full Circle Chat was not to say that we're professionals.
Correct.
We started this because we want to be able to share our perspective. And if
Mhm.
someone, wherever in the world, can maybe be exposed to something that we've gone through and they can
Mhm.
take that and implement that in their lives
Yes.
and it can impact them positively, we've already won.
Yeah.
So that's the idea, and that's why I really enjoy this, and that's why I would say prior to starting it, yeah, of course, maybe it's something that's out of my comfort zone. This is probably the first thing that I've done and put out publicly, I guess, in the world. But now I feel just like we're this is the right thing to be doing at the right time. So I just feel aligned with what we're doing. So to tie it all back to comfort zone, I don't know. That's a journey that I have to continue to go on because just day to day when I wake up, if whatever I'm doing, like how do I say, oh, is this thing pushing me out of my comfort zone? Am I in my comfort zone? Let's say like you, health professional,
Oh yeah.
right? You're doing pretty much the same thing with
I'm doing
patients.
I'm doing pretty much the same thing, but there are things that push us out of the comfort zone.
Give us an
I'll
example.
give you the example. Okay, at my job, we have this new computer software. And I'm telling you, we've been doing it over a year, but I'm not at the comfort level where I want to be. And I keep thinking to myself, buddy, why are you not there? You
Yeah,
know how to take care of the patients. I'm used to charting on paper like we did before. But the computer, it's here. It's
yeah,
not going away. And it's really not bad. But I just get very anxious because, we're in your environment. You have to do things at a fast pace. And if my pace isn't as fast as my other colleagues, sometimes I feel like, geez, I can't keep up with them, man.
yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't be here anymore.
Wow.
But I love what I do.
Yeah.
And I don't want to feel that way. And I get really anxious when I can't keep up with them sometimes.
Never question yourself. They need you more than you know, Dr. VZ. Just keep
I,
doing what you're doing. And the thing is, that's a great example. Thank you for sharing that because I agree with that 1,000% because as soon as there's something that comes that's brand new that you're not used to, that comes out of
yes.
nowhere, out of left field,
Mhm.
that's gonna put you like that's change.
And I'm going to tell you what I'm trying to do in my mind
Yeah.
is tell myself that, okay, this is something new, but it's not something that you can conquer. You've conquered worse than this.
Yeah.
So I kind of start putting those thoughts in my mind so that I can like deep breathe and relax and not get so drawn in on I can't. Instead of I can't, it's like I think I can, I think I can, I
Yeah.
think I can, you know. But I tell you, the mind can play some terrible tricks on you.
That's right.
And, it's also about your workers and your coworkers and how they work with you
That's
when
right.
when change comes.
That's right. The support system
That's a
around. Yes. So
big
you
word.
want people around you that's going to help you step out of that comfort zone
Yes.
versus keep you in it.
Yes.
So you just touch on something important.
Yes.
The people around you friends, family play an important role when it comes to you staying in your comfort zone or stepping out of it. Because for
Amen.
me, from experience, a lot of people like to keep you where you're at because it's good for them.
Right.
So they like you being in your comfort zone.
You're not growing.
Exactly. So they don't have to look themselves in the mirror and make any adjustments. Because
Right.
once you start to do something out of your comfort zone, and it's out of the the realm of what they're accustomed to, now they start to really reflect and think about, hey, he's doing this and this. eh, What am I gonna do?
Right.
Right. So
What's
that's
he
I
gonna do
love
next?
that correlation that you made there. So that's a great one. But yeah, thank you for sharing the insights. I always get something one or two things that I take away from these conversations that I can take back and figure out how to add it and implement it into my life. So I
Yes.
always appreciate the insights, Dr. VZ.
As you as well.
Absolutely. Till the next time we connect, it's always a pleasure to talk to the people.
I know.
All right. Everyone have a great day.
Hey, we'll see you later.
See you later.
Don't forget, who are we?
Full Circle Chat.
All righty.
No, you see that conversation about comfort zone took my mind to like so many different places. Because I started thinking about it like day to day. Because what if you have like a steady job, right? And
Yes.
you're doing your thing. But I love the example you presented about something new coming in, and then but what if that technology can come in? People, if you're doing the same
Something
thing,
else will come. It don't matter.
yeah. And I think
It's ever changing. It is constant. That your environment is ever changing. It may not be a work thing. It might be something with the job. Like you're used to doing this. Let's say, okay, you're going to have to move your department over to here.
yeah,
What? How is that going to work?
yeah. You know what I noticed though? Some people frame that as like a stress, like I don't want that.
Exactly.
Well, I think the way you frame it is more you embrace it and you like, oh, this is gonna allow me to step out of my comfort zone
Yeah.
more, right?
It does.
Oh, I see it a lot where people are like, we don't need the extra,
But they say that all the
and
time.
that's a sign of people wanting to stay in their comfort
Exactly.
zone.
When
Wow,
when
that's
they
a good
tell
one.
you, we
That's
don't need that.
good.
We don't need that. Well, wait a minute. If it's not broke, why are we trying to fix it?
Yeah, yeah,
But doesn't necessarily have to be broke. You have to look at what maybe you can do to productivity wise. Maybe you could do one little change that can increase your productivity, that can have a better outcome for something.
See, from experience for me, like you talking about self-starting something, right? I don't know. For me, I've always needed something external to nudge me to step out of my comfort zone. And that's just full transparency. I don't like when I think about it, it's never just been me just being, oh, I need to put myself through an uncomfortable situation,
No, I never do that. No, I never do that.
right? It's always something that's always just kind of maybe I go through something
Yeah.
and I learn from whatever that thing, and I just completely just do something completely different and just go at it. So, like, I think maybe something we can do is just to find ways that we can proactively push ourselves outside of our comfort zone.
And I think that comes with your circle of people. They have to know you
Yeah,
and know, okay, Kristen, I think you can do this. Why don't you try it?
yeah.
Just try it.
I don't have that many. I'm not as fortunate as maybe a lot of people of having that many people that I would say I genuinely trust to do that for me. So it's a little different. There's a couple. I have a couple
agree.
people. Yeah,
I have to
you know
say that.
that you actually like feel okay to listen to what they're saying, and actually okay they have my best interest at heart.
Yeah.
And actually make the move that needs to be made.
And the other part of that comfort zone is these people that you're either working with or family, friends, or whatever. It's a trust factor with them as well, because
Yeah,
if you're talking to somebody that you don't have that much trust in, I'm not really. You're making me anxious because why are you talking to me about that
yeah.
stuff? Are you trying to get me to do something?
That's a whole nother conversation.
Oh, it is.
So we'll
Oh, I
connect.
better stop.
Yeah, we'll talk
I better
about that
stop.
some other
I'll move you.
time.
I'll move you to another
Until
step.
next time. Y'all have a wonderful day.
We don't. We can't. We better stop.
We're really gonna wrap it up.
Okay.
And then we'll talk next time.
Dr. Beasley, I have a question.
Yes.
So you have to do like write your notes on the computer now, and you
Yes.
didn't have to do that before.
No. Before we wrote on paper.
Yeah.
We wrote on paper. For me, it was about the implementation part of it. It was very rushed. And if it was more, let me show you this part or this section, then you go back and practice this section and then come back and we'll talk about that tomorrow and see if you have any questions. See, that did not happen. It was like boom, bam, all there and there. And some of the people in the room, different age groups, oh yeah, that's great, catching on and they just kept moving forward. But they should be listening to their audience and they should be paying attention to the audience. And your role, it depends on your role in your place of employment. If you are in a
Oh,
if you are in a leadership role
yeah.
and you are supposed to be seen as a leader,
Whoa.
then people look at you like, well, wait a minute.
You should know that.
You should
You
know it.
should be getting that quick. That's, see that?
You should be telling me this. Why? You said you don't know?
What? But where is this written rule that because
It's
you
not
are
written.
in a leadership role that you should be able to comprehend faster at a faster pace than everyone else?
It's not there, but
No, I know it's unspoken. It's
it's an
there.
unspoken rule.
It's
There you
there.
go. It's
No,
an
I agree with
unspoken
you though.
rule.
That's the thing. I'm agreeing with you, but
Yeah.
like you have to. For me, I just remember, and
Not,
that's
doesn't make
so.
it right now. I mean, I clearly say it doesn't mean that it's right.
For me, I don't. To be honest with you, I have to just completely wipe away all the ideas of because I'm in a leadership role that I should now comprehend or pick this up or learn this faster than you.
Well, I'm doing better. I can tell you that. First time, I was like, oh, I'll just be quiet and act like I knew this here. But now I'm better to the point where I can say, excuse me,
Yeah.
could you go over that one more time? I didn't quite get it.
Yeah, because
And
that's gonna do more harm. Because me, like, if I'm learning something, I want to know it. Because
well,
that's gonna cause more harm or do more harm to me and my progression
and I have
than
to
anyone
honestly, I
else.
have to say, I think that's what has happened to me in respect to the computer piece
Yeah,
because I'm acting like, okay, I know it, but also the person teaching it has to span the audience and see what's going on. And to me, that person that's teaching has to know the atmosphere in the room. And if you see a lot of heads nodding, or if you see a deer in the headlight,
well, that's tough though.
But like,
But that's tough.
as a professor, right?
Yeah, that's hard.
So I have Dr. Daisy, who's well respected. Even if she's looking like a deer in the headlights, maybe I don't want to call her out in front of
oh,
everybody.
very
You see
good point.
that?
Oh,
That's the
very
thing.
good
That's
point. Thank you
tough.
for that. Thank
Yeah,
you for that.
and then
That is tough. That's
it's
tough.
it's hard to if everyone's nodding yes. If I'm a professional, I'm gonna take their nodding yes as okay. You get it.
I get, and I agree. I agree.
Like so, it's more your
Me,
responsibility or my responsibility to say I don't get it, and
point
then
taken.
they
Point taken.
explain,
And
right?
that's something that I know that I've got
You
to
put a lot
work
of
on.
pressure on yourself as a leader, and
I
that's the
do.
thing. You're a leader in a lot of different aspects,
I
and
do.
man, that's tough.
It is.
That's tough.
So that stuff gets built
Not for me,
inside.
but I'm saying like not for me.
Tough for me.
Oh yeah. Listen, I'm different in the sense of if I don't get it, I don't get it.
But I've learned in my field of healthcare,
Yeah.
you know, you've got people working together, and it's just you have to be careful with the dynamics in
That's right.
front of our
Oh, I know.
patient population. I don't. I myself will refrain if something comes to me in a negative light from an individual in a work environment. I could respond back inappropriately, but I choose not to do that because I am not in the right environment, meaning there's another third party there.
The patient.
There's a patient there, and I don't want that patient's experience to witness anything that's not positive in their eyes, because I don't want them to think that, oh my gosh, what kind of place is this if they're going back and forth with it? She said and he said, and they're kind of arguing about this.
From your experience, does some of the people you've worked with in the past, do they all have that high level of awareness around that? Like having a patient
No,
in the
they
room,
don't.
it's not the time to have that
No,
conversation.
they don't.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
They don't have that.
Yeah.
And I personally have to work on figuring out how to let them know in the right way.
Yeah.
This is not the time or place
Yeah.
for that. Appropriately, sometimes in my mind, when I'm maybe approached, maybe not in the manner I think I should be approached in front of patients and in front of other colleagues, put it like that, um, I choose to be quiet uh, rather than to say something, and that's not good for me because I build up inside that
Oh,
stress,
that's not good.
and that's not good. And then when I say something, I might be saying something that's not constructive as I would want it to be.
Yeah. Now that example you give is a great one because when you think about a leader that's in the position of learning something brand new and they don't speak up, I would just reframe that as when I do speak up and everyone else gets it and I don't, that's stepping out of my comfort zone as a leader.
It is. And that's a great point that you made. That is, I should, and I've got to work on that for me. So see, we all got little things.
Yeah.
We all got them.
And then don't. I'm not.
No,
I'm not
it's
trying
a
to
good
sound
thing.
like I'm not an expert at
no.
anything. It's more of just. I think awareness is powerful.
It
When
is.
you have an awareness around it, like let's say it happens and you recognize that that's happening in real time, that's enough for me at least to know that I'm moving in the right direction. Okay, I'm aware that I should have spoke up, but I didn't speak up versus like not saying anything and just going about your business and never have the awareness around it.
And you can't do that. You've got to figure out how to get it out.
Yeah.
And whatever it
Real time.
is, you cannot, because if you don't get it out and that snowball just keeps going,
And you don't know, you didn't learn what you're supposed to learn.
you didn't.
So
We've got
good
work to
convo,
do.
good question, Tony.
Very good.
It always gets us going into a completely different direction, but it always all ties back together.
It does.
To what we're talking about. So it's great to explore those different paths with you, Dr. VZ.
Yeah. Comfort zone is, I think it means different things to different people.
Yeah.
But I believe everybody has either been in a situations that's made them uncomfortable and has really challenged them
Yeah.
in, okay, what do I do? What do I say? Do I just be quiet? Some people, if they are challenged with something and they're not comfortable, some won't say anything. They just be quiet.
Yeah. Because it's easier.
Yeah.
It's easy. I don't want to feel all the whatever, but
You don't have to face it.
great question, man.
Great insight.
Great conversation.
Excellent.
Great conversation. It's always a great one.